The Swedish Model. Why partial criminalisation of sex work will not help sex workers or South African society. People all over the world are coming together to talk about sex work and how we could change the law to improve the lives of people involved in sex work. This is good news for sex workers and others in South Africa who have been advocating for years for our government to remove the outdated criminal laws we have on sex work and to develop new policies and law that protect sex worker rights. In recent years, lawmakers in Europe and other parts of the world have been talking a lot about the Swedish model, a policy model first introduced in Sweden in 1999. This allows sex workers to sell sex without facing prosecution from the police, but their clients would be arrested and prosecuted for buying. This model is sometimes referred to as the Swedish or Nordic model, partial criminalisation of sex work, and partial decriminalisation of sex work. The names might be different, but the result is the same. People who buy sex are arrested, and those who sell sex are encouraged into exit or rehabilitation programs. While this model is a bit better than the full criminalisation of sex work, in that it recognizes that sex workers are not criminals who need to be punished, this legal model also creates a lot of harm. There are three main reasons why the model creates harm. Firstly, instead of protecting sex workers, as the model intended to, it has made conditions worse for many sex workers in Sweden. Studies have shown that the criminalisation of clients limits sex workers' strategies for keeping themselves safe in the following ways. It displaces sex workers to isolated areas. It makes it almost impossible for sex workers to rely on the police for protection. It makes it difficult for sex workers to screen and negotiate the terms of the transaction, particularly with condom use. Secondly, instead of thinking about sex workers as workers, the Swedish model assumes that sex workers are victims that need to be rescued. Sex workers' clients, almost always men, are demonized and cast as criminals who need to be punished because they would like to have sex and they're willing to pay for it. It ignores that many sex workers make an active choice to do sex work because it often offers them an income, flexible working hours, and independence in a context often characterized by poverty, hardship, or lack of viable alternative options. Laws like this limit the freedom and livelihood of sex workers, portray clients in a bad light, and criminalize adult consensual sex. Lastly, there is little evidence that the Swedish model has worked. Although lawmakers in Sweden argue that it is a great success, studies show that not much has changed. Criminal laws like this can waste valuable resources that could be better used to make sex work safer by implementing sex worker labor laws and occupational health and safety laws. The Swedish model does not protect sex worker rights, and it does not make society safer. We should choose laws that will empower sex workers, improve their working conditions, and protect them and their clients against harm. We should choose laws that respect South Africa's constitution. We shouldn't choose the Swedish model. We should choose decriminalisation of sex work.